I get it that ever since this pandemic started, time has no meaning, but with how some of these brands are moving, it's like they think that we've been in a perpetual state of April Fools for months, because some of these releases are literally a joke. Hi friends, hi, thank you for watching. My name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it. Long time no see. I've been busy, but I'm back, and I decided to regain my footing and my practice with doing video with a good old anti-haul, because everyone loves one of those. Without further ado, let's get started, because some of these releases, it's a lot. Let's get started with a release that I simply cannot believe is real, and not in the year of our Lord of the pandemic 2021. Fenty came out with this clip-in gloss. When it initially came out, everyone was in utter disbelief. I think 90% of the Instagram population thought it was an April Fool's joke. It's a cute April Fool's joke. Like, what a cute idea for an April Fool's. No, it's for real. What in the petri dish hell is Fenty thinking? We are still in the middle of a pandemic where, well, most of the world is. Some countries were way smarter than others. It is what it is. But most international markets are still in the middle of a pandemic. So to come up with something that you clip on your clothes that come in contact with the outside world and everyone else's germs, with the possibility of the product inside being contaminated by microbes, pollution, exhaustion gas, and God knows what else. Not only that, you then have to dip your grimy little disinfected, sanitized, as they put it, fingers into the product. No. Just no. There is a problem with cream products in general, even ones with the applicator, with sanitation issues. Even if you use them only for yourself, eventually the product will get contaminated. That's why cream products last much less than powder products, is because you put the applicator on your mouth, you pick up saliva, you pick up bacteria, you pick up whatever little critters make your body your home, you put it back. You take the applicator back out, you put it back again, and your lip gloss turns into a petri dish. It's gross, but it is the reality. Now imagine that times 1,000, because the hands are by far one of the dirtiest parts of your body, because they come in contact with literally everything, including yourself. I just do not want to imagine what kind of neo-futuristic civilization the bacteria in that clip-on gloss are building. No. A bizarre collaboration that kind of made me slow blink, because it's very out of left field. e.l.f. collabed with this hair influencer called Atkin, or Jen Atkins, I don't remember. I don't watch hair influencers, as evidenced by the fact that my hair is a constant mess all of the time. She created these mix of eye and face palettes in two colorways, the darker and the medium one, and it's a very strange release. On one hand, I understand the marketing behind it, because you are trying to merge niches. You are trying to tap into a market audience that you didn't have before. So people that like to do their hair fancy may not know what's happening in the makeup world, and you're trying to tap into that. Thus the very boring neutral colorway. But it's exactly that. It's a boring neutral colorway that you can find 1,000 times over in better formulas and better combinations. I'm not here to dunk on neutral palettes. God knows I love me a basic bitch moment from time to time, and lots of people love them. But this one is just uninspired, and as far as neutral palettes go, you can do much better. Even from e.l.f. and you are going to pay an extra $1 or $2 because of the collaboration price, because the influencer has to get their money. And to me, it seems very disingenuous to be a person that only talks about hair and didn't seem particularly into makeup and then try to sell people makeup products. It's kind of sad in a way, because there are many influencers, even big large influencers, that would get e.l.f. a big audience that are much more deserving. Makeup influencers, I mean. As I said, I understand the marketing behind it. You want to tap into a potential audience that you didn't tap into before, but it's just, it's a very strange pairing. Up next, Anastasia Beverly Hills. What is going on with this brand? Are we assisting to the death throes, to its last breaths, to its last fits before it expires? Because I have not seen a truly interesting release from them for like years at this point. It's very astounding to me that they would come out with face wipes in 2021 when literally everyone has agreed that face wipes are particularly bad for your skin. They're less effective than any other makeup remover product. And it's just, listen, let's say you don't care about that, right? You love your face wipes and you're entitled to it. Why would you pay premium prices for ABH face wipes just because it's in a stupid hollow packaging, when you are going to throw the packaging in the trash in like a month? And there are many much better drugstore, more affordable wipes on the market. What niche are they trying to tap into? Because there is no need for luxury makeup wipes. We are past the need for makeup wipes in our civilization, especially expensive ones. What are they thinking? Then there's these face palettes, which frankly they're like 3 or 4 years too late, and they don't even go light enough or deep enough. It's just unsatisfactory. Just buy the Midas and Neon MUA Dawn to Dusk face palette collaboration, because they have very interesting colorways and I've only heard good things, and you will be supporting a black influencer to boot instead of a big corporation that cannot be ours to test the waters and see if face palettes are actually needed. I've also not heard great news about ABH face products in general, except that Amrezy highlighter. Melt MaryJane. Listen, Melt started the marijuana makeup bandwagon, and I gotta respect them for that, but at a certain point they killed that horse, and now they're beating that poor dead horse into the dust. At this point, it's just a very uninspired theme. Like, I get it, you're edgy, you smoke weed, we get it. Melt is that person that makes being a stoner their whole personality. The colorway is interesting, true, but why I'm anti-hauling this is Melt does not have consistency. Melt is more expensive than most indie brands. Their formula is more unstable than my mental health before my period, and it is prone to breaking in transit, swelling up after a certain amount of time, changing texture, changing smell, expanding in the pan and stuff like that. And for like $40-50 a pop, a palette, I want to take it to my grave. So even if you like the color story, do you really want to play Russian roulette and for that price see if you get one of their good palettes and not the one that in a year or so will expand like some sort of sentient petri dish in your vanity? I don't think it's worth the risk, I'm just saying. KKW is trying to reinvent the wheel, and quite cleverly so actually. They came out with this KKW Contour Duo. Now, KKW Beauty's target audience is not me. It's probably not you because you're beauty industry savvy enough to watch anti-hauls. And it's probably not the type of person that regularly watches beauty YouTube or has a large collection. I think the target audience for KKW Beauty is the more minimalist makeup consumer that likes celebrity brands because they associate the makeup with the celebrity and the luxury and the lifestyle and whatever. So clearly this is appealing to a certain type of person, but nobody that has a neutral palette actually needs this. It's not an innovative concept. Take any two, one light, one dark, brownish, sepia-ish skin tone colors that match your actual skin tone, and you will have a contour duo. You do not need to pay Kim Kardashian prices to slightly contour your eyes. You can literally do that with bronzer. You're fine. You really don't need this, objectively speaking. Viseart Plage Etendu. I hope that's how you pronounce it. My French is very, very rusty. Please don't throw baguettes at me through the screen. I will probably eat them because I love carbs a lot. Warm tones with a pop of blue for summer. Groundbreaking. Again, this is not marketed towards us. It's marketed toward the regular consumer that just wants a pop of color in their lives. And this is why I want you to think very well before purchasing this, because look, this is pretty. It attracts me as well. It's a pretty color scheme, but it is a pretty color scheme that we've seen 10,000 times over, and not at Viseart prices. Listen, I don't blame you if you want this. This is objectively a beautiful palette. The tones are interesting, the finishes are interesting, it's pretty. I like it as well. There's absolutely no judgment here. We're all magpies. This is a magpie safe space. It's just that this is a color story that we've seen 1,000 times before. So if you have quite a bit of makeup in your collection, or if you already like warm tones, there is no need to buy from Viseart. And if you lack a blue but you have all of those beautiful warm tones in your collection, buy a blue single eyeshadow in the exact same shade that you want. You don't need to pay Viseart prices for that. Colourpop is coming out with quads and quints. This is a release where context matters a lot in how I view it, as well as how other people in the beauty community look at it. Because if Colourpop did not have this constant, incessant, drowning string of releases where they release something new every week, and instead they would have something more like every month or every 2 months, then these would have been a genius release. Because a lot of people don't want 9 shades, they don't want 12 shades, they want a quad. They want something simple that they can reach for. But the thing is that these, despite being a good idea for their brand, they're not as well released because we're all tired of Colourpop at this point, and we're tired of the releases, and whoever watches Colourpop release stuff consistently, those shades already exist in their current lineup. So it's like you're recycling the same shades, but for what? Well, however, what I want to point out is that there seems to be more variation in the depth of what they're putting out. So in these quads, at least to my untrained, uncooked chicken eye, there seem to be quite a few that would work on medium to deeper skin tones. So maybe Colourpop has decided to reroute themselves and stop following a villain arc and go back to giving more inclusive stuff. I don't know, what do you guys think? Benefit Fouroscope, I don't understand the theming of this. Is like, it just seems like they hit a character creator randomizer and just went with it. So the problem with Benefit in general is that they failed to hit the market being inclusive. So in one of their palettes, they've gone a bit deeper with the blush, which is nice, but then they put the same bronzer that they put for the medium and the light skin tone. So how is this being inclusive when you're practically putting someone's setting powder shade as a bronzer, but then you're giving them a dark enough blush and a highlight? So you're basically making them pay full price for your palette, but they can't use all of the shades. Meanwhile, the people in the lighter colorways can. It's just a bit sus to me. I really don't like the way they're moving. They could have tried to see the reception of the market to something like, I don't know, Hula Deeper or something like that, just a different shade. But instead they decide to ignore good palette design for everyone darker than a medium tan, and that's sad. So yeah, why don't we need this? Probably because they're the same rehashed shades that Benefit has always put out, and the new shades really aren't that varied. You're better off just buying a face palette from a brand that actually offers more interesting color stories and doesn't literally recycle the same shades and the same tired ass palettes all of the time. Illamasqua Double Take intrigues me. So what's happening here is that they are using color theory, and in these products they have the main color and then a stripe of something that changes the main color. The lipsticks are two-toned, and this is something that we've seen before in Asian markets, and they do it quite successfully. So if you're interested in that at a lower price point, I would suggest checking out Yes Style, because they have a lot of these types of products that have great reviews. The thing that intrigues me the most is those bronzers, because what happens is that you have the orange warmer side and then you have that blue part. The blue part cancels out the orange, so you come out to something that is more shadow-like, so more a more grayish type of bronzer. At least that's how I would see it with the color theory that I know. Depending on how intense that blue is, it could really change the way that the product works for you. But again, depends on how intense that blue is. The question: how willing are you to play with that when you do your makeup? Because as far as I know, most people just want a product that works. And yes, they want the wheel to be reinvented, but they want ease of application as well. And I'm the same. Like, I don't necessarily want from a bronzer something that asks me too much brain power, you know? Because I have like 2 brain cells, and one of them is dancing the Macarena most of the time, so I really don't have any brain power to spare for bronzers. So it depends if your curiosity will overrule the desire of ease of use. It's gimmicky, but it's an interesting gimmick. I'll give them that. Linda Halberry is coming out with her version of a rainbow palette. And this is a good addition for the brand in particular, because they did not have a rainbow palette before. They had other color stories that were neutral and some pastels, if I recall correctly, some topper shades. You don't need this. It's a rainbow palette. It's good for their brand, but at this point there are so many rainbow palettes on the market. And if you like colorful eyeshadow, you probably already have one. And if you don't have one, ask yourself if you really want to pay premium indie brand prices, because Linda Halberry is a bit up there as far as indie brand pricing goes. Do you really want to pay that price for something that you are not sure that you are going to use? Because if you really want to get into colorful makeup and see if you like wearing rainbow makeup and experiment with color, go grab a palette from like ABH Cosmetics. Beauty Bay has a great 42 colored bright palette that I've been really enjoying. I think ELF has a rainbow palette as well. Profusion has a rainbow palette. Makeup Revolution has like 1,000 rainbow palettes for us Europeans out there. So there's certainly options, cheaper options if you want to see if you will use those colors. You don't need to pay Linda Halberry prices and then have it sit on your collection. Or dupe out other stuff if you are, you know, a colorful makeup lover. Anyway, this was it. This was my anti-haul of the month. I also have other videos planned. I just finished filming a video on Hilma F. Klint in my art inspired shop my stash series. I've also have other stuff prepared for you guys. I am back, baby, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back in a filming routine. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments down below what your opinions of these products are. I'll see you the next time, hopefully. Thank you. Bye.